This is how to create an intense burning desire in order to manifest something, because that's something that a lot of people don't have, which a lot of you out there watching this video do have right now, is you have an intense burning desire. And that's what visualization does a lot of times. It creates that burning desire, because once you feel it, you're experiencing this new life that you want to have, and being this new person. That's what motivates you to do the internal work, and also acting congruent with your vision that you have of what you're trying to create into your world. This new visualization, this experience you're having in your mind, not only solidifies and impresses the subconscious mind with it, but also motivates you to do the work. And that's why visualization can be so powerful. So let's go ahead and jump into this chapter. Chapter 19, The Essentials by Neville Goddard, The Power of Awareness. This is absolutely amazing. Let's go ahead and jump into this. Love you guys. All right, so pay attention. This is chapter 19, Essentials. This is going to break it all down for you. Okay, so I'm going to expound on all of this. And as always, this video is sponsored by our school community. This world is a simulation. The very first link in the description. We have over 1,000 members doing live events. Join now and it will change your life. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this. The essential points in the successful use of the law of assumption are these. First, and above all, yearning, longing, intense, burning desire. All right. With all of your heart, you must want to be different from who you are now. All right. Because like Neville Goddard stated before, and how I state so much in the live events on school, in order to get rid of the old concept of self, you have to force a new concept of self. And that's what pushes the old concept of yourself out. And there's certain things you can do, such as doing different intervals throughout the day of your visualizations and doing things as you're going to sleep. But not only that, doing things actually in your waking state, within the simulation, like asking yourself questions, like changing things up that you're doing now, like whatever if your world isn't the way you want it to be right now, it's because of your old concept of self. And in order to get rid of that concept, you have to start changing the things that you're doing. The old concept of yourself is alive based on the things that it does. So if your old concept of self doesn't want to get up early, doesn't want to exercise, doesn't want to go that extra mile, has all these bad habits, you have to change all that. You have to stop doing all that. And that kills the old concept of self and delivers you the new simulation that you want to be living in. A radical psychological change within you creates a radical physical change within the simulation. So it's pretty simple, but we're going to go over this. That way you can really start applying this and be doers of the work and not just hearers only. So with all your heart, you must want to be different from who you are. Intense burning desire combined with intention to make good. Intention to make good is the mainspring of action, the beginning of all successful ventures, in every great passion, which achieves its objective. Desire is concentrated and intentioned. All right. Remember that, intentioned. You must first desire and then intend to succeed. All right. So it's not just visualizing something and then laying on a couch all day, eating honey buns and watching Netflix. Okay. You're not imagining yourself being a multimillionaire running this multi-8-figure, 9-figure business in your imagination and then think that you're going to sit on the couch and then somehow it's just going to come to you. If you start imagining that, if you detail your attention and you're very present and you start really creating the facility of your mind, the faculty of your mind to be able to visualize really well, and you start imagining yourself being this new person, you're not going to be able to sit on that couch. You're probably going to burn that couch. You're going to throw it in the backyard and burn the thing and never sit on. You're going to tear the TVs out of the house. You're not going to have time to watch TV. You're not going to want to watch TV. You're not going to want to do any of that anymore. You're not going to desire to do that anymore. You have created a new concept of yourself through a visualization, and that's what changes your actions throughout the day. So it's none of this stuff where people talk about the Harry Potter part of manifestation, where you just picture something, yourself being this billionaire, and it just falls from the ceiling. There's magical things that can happen, but essentially, when you're changing your concept of yourself to be someone that's successful, that's wise, that's integral, that is providing servitude to the world, and is creating the version of themselves they love, respect, and admire, and giving that person to the world, and they actually just create this center of power within them, they're no longer going to want to do the old things. The old concept of self is dead, okay? That old concept of yourself that you thought you had this idea where you could just sit on the couch and manifest billions of dollars, that old concept is dead now. And it doesn't want to do those things anymore. You are going to create an entirely new life, and you're finally going to find happiness within this, because growth, experiencing life, being grateful, and providing value and service to the world with growth is actually, you're going to find You're so much happier when you stay busy and using your time wisely and helping other people. You're going to realize that, I wish I would have known this 10 years ago. Most people, they want to create all this wealth and they want to retire. Or they don't want to work all the time. They say, I want to create like millions, and then I would just want to go to the beach and hang out. Listen, once you create the version of yourself that you love and admire and respect, you're not going to want to just hang out on the beach all day and do nothing. You're going to want to do stuff. You're going to want to spend your time assisting other people, because you realize now through the growth of that process that when you felt the growth of all that and the experience of that you felt alive for the first time in your life, and you actually experienced, value within yourself, and you really felt good for the first time in your life, giving to others, helping other people, providing value. And the side effect of that, you're going to have everything you desire too, but that's not the part that's going to make you happy. And you're going to realize that through this process. Okay. I know I rambled on a little bit there, but we'll get right back into this. But I just want to explain a lot of this stuff because it's so important. And I do cover this in detail, like on my live events, within the school community. I go on my rants with this over and over and over. And anyone that's in here that is part of my community, they're probably going to leave a comment because I usually break all this stuff down so it's like really far in detail, and I get really absorbed into it. Like in the live events, they're usually over an hour long, 3 times a week. So, but it's just so important to understand like the dynamics of it, like what's going to happen to you, because I've experienced all this stuff. So I can tell you like firsthand what's going to happen with you when you follow my teachings, when you do my courses, when you do the coursework and you really get involved with it, what happens to you? Like when you change who you are, you're going to truly find happiness. And it's not going to be in those material things. It's not. It's going to be in what you're doing, the growing process of it, experiencing life itself and the growth, because you get addicted to the growth. Like you have to be like every day I have to get a little bit better. And I feel so good. Like that is what is creating, the happiness, my happiness. That is where my happiness resides, being in the present moment, but always doing a little bit better than yesterday, and giving a little bit more than yesterday, because it's not about me. And I had to realize that it's about you. It's about everyone else. And it's not about you either. It's about everyone else. It's not about us. It's about them. Okay. And when you remember that, that's where you truly find happiness. Okay. All right. So I'm done with my rant. So let's go ahead and get right back into this. Okay. So as this is from Psalms 42:1. As the hart panteth after the water brooks, so panteth my soul after thee, O God. 42:1, that is Psalms. Blessed are they that hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Matthew 5:6. Here is where Neville Goddard breaks this down because of the symbolic nature of the Bible here. Here the soul is interpreted as a sum total of all you believe, think, feel, and accept as true. In other words, your present level of awareness, God, I am the power of awareness, the source and fulfillment of all desires, understood psychologically. I am is an infinite series of levels and of awareness. I am what I am according to where I am in the series of I am. This quotation describes how your present level of awareness longs to transcend itself, wants to transcend itself. Righteousness is the consciousness of already being what you want to be. So that's the translation here. Okay, so when in Matthew 5:6, blessed are they that hunger and thirst after righteousness. Righteousness is the consciousness of already being what you want to be. And that's what is the symbolic language here broken down. So blessed are they that hunger and thirst after the consciousness of already being what you want to be, for they shall be filled. Okay, that's Matthew 5:6. Second, cultivate physical immobility, the meditation, a physical incapacity not unlike the state described by Keats in his Ode to a Nightingale. A drowsy numbness pains my senses, as though of hemlock I had drunk. It is a state akin to sleep. All right, this is right before you become unconscious. Like it's the point or the place in between being conscious and unconscious. Okay, that is the state akin to sleep, but one in which you are still in control of the direction of your attention. You must learn to induce this state at will, but experience has taught that it is more easily induced after a substantial meal or when you wake in the morning feeling very loath to arise. Then you are naturally disposed to enter the state. The value of physical immobility shows itself in the accumulation of mental force which absolute stillness brings with it. It increases your power of concentration, and that is very important. So Psalms 46:10, be still and know that I am God. That's a very good one. He actually used this in the back of the Wilshire Ebell Theater with my grandfather. That's what they were chanting doing their meditations. Be still and know that I am God. All right, so in fact, the great energies of the mind seldom break forth, except when the body is stilled and the door of the senses closed to the objective world. The third and last thing to do is to experience in your imagination what you would experience in reality had you achieved your goal. You must gain it in imagination first, for imagination is the very door to the reality of that which you seek. But use imagination masterfully, and not as an onlooker thinking of the end, but as a partaker thinking from the end, first person perspective. So imagine that you possess a quality or something you desire, which hitherto has not been yours yet. Surrender yourself completely to this feeling until your whole being is possessed by it. This state differs from the reverie in this respect. It is the result of a controlled imagination and a steadied, concentrated attention. I'm going to read this again because this is what we're all getting. This is what we're all doing within this world as a simulation in my community on school. This is what we are working on. All right, so this state differs from reverie in this respect. It's not a daydream. It is the result of a controlled imagination and a steady, concentrated attention, whereas a reverie is the result of an uncontrolled imagination, being controlled by instant gratification, by having short attention spans, by all these different things, all these distractions, all these programs in your mind where you can't visualize, you cannot focus on a feeling state for longer than 3 seconds. And that's not going to work then. And that's what we're doing, okay? And like this, it's usually just a daydream. A daydream does nothing for you. Nothing for you. It must be concentrated. It must be controlled. And because when you can control your imagination for long periods of time, you can control your simulation for long periods of time. The imagination creates reality. So in order to control reality, you have to control your imagination. I mean, it's really clear. So we need to do these exercises, okay? These exercises are super important. It's like the new video course I just launched within school that most of you are probably taking right now. And I'm really looking forward to a lot of success, even more success than we've already had within the community and the testimonials. All right, so in the controlled state, a minimum of effort suffices to keep your consciousness filled with the feeling of the wish fulfilled. The physical and mental, and when you have control of the direction of your attention and you have present moment awareness, and you've practiced this is where this comes in, a minimum of effort. Once you have gained the attention that you need, it only takes a minimum of effort. You don't have to try so hard anymore. Your mind's not trying to get away from you all the time. You have it trained and controlled, and it's a minimum effort. And that's what Neville Goddard, least action, minimum effort, okay? For the feeling of the wish filled. The physical and mental immobility of this state is a powerful aid to voluntary attention and a major factor of minimum effort. The application of these 3 points, desire, physical immobility, the assumption of the wish already fulfilled. This is the way to at-one-ment or union with your objective. The first point is thinking of the end with the intention to realize it. The third point is thinking from the end with the feeling of accomplishment. The secret of thinking from the end is to enjoy being it. The minute you make it pleasurable and imagine that you are it, you are thinking from the end. One of the most prevalent misunderstandings is that this law works only for those having a devout or a religious objective. This is a fallacy. It's not true. It works just as impersonally as the law of electricity works. It can be used for greedy, selfish purposes as well as noble ones. It should always be borne in mind that ignoble thoughts and actions inevitably result in unhappy consequences. All right, so that's the end of this chapter. But if you want to get more of this, breaking this down, every Wednesday, I'm breaking these down in live events on the school community. We're also doing reality transurfing on Mondays. Wednesdays, we're doing Neville Goddard stuff. And on Friday, we do Q&A where I answer all of your questions. Okay, so if you want to get more of this, breaking all this down, giving you more ideas, and also access to a live course that I just created. This course has everything you need to follow as a routine, like the leaf exercise, the reverse course. We have the 3-6-9. We have the ladder exercise. We have the knot technique. We have it all. Everything is broken down systematically. That way you can really get to that next level. So that's the link in the description, the very first link. You can join right now. And it's a money back guarantee too. If you don't like it, 5 days money back guarantee after you sign up. And also I'm going to put a free sleep meditation card on the screen for you right now. It's absolutely tremendous, and hypnotizing yourself as you're going to sleep at night can really help if you're doing your visualizations at the same time. Like you're visualizing as you're listening to the theta and alpha, the alpha, theta, and delta waves. So listen to that as you're falling asleep, and you can use them at any time it doesn't have to be at night, but you can use them if you're going to take a nap or you're just in meditation. You can use them, and they're very, very powerful for impressing the subconscious mind and just releasing that the analytical mind. That way you can really feel yourself into that new version of yourself. All right, guys, I'm going to put that on the screen for you right now. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.